I'm financial coach Sparkle, but you may know me as musical artist Karma Soleil. Welcome to Financially Sparkling. This is my free online course where I teach you to fire in your finances and to sparkle in your life. So, get your notebooks and let's get into today's topic. So, today's topic is 12 financial freedom books useful for your money life. Now, I'll be referencing some of my notes because I'm not a professional videographer, I'm a teacher and a coach, and I need my notes to help me get through this to help you. So, on your journey to financial freedom, it is important to have perspective and inspiration. These are some of the books that have helped and guided me through my own financial freedom journey. These are books I can read again and again because I learn something new every time I read them. I recommend you read them too. And here's a savvy tip for free reading. Your local library, I know, they still exist. And another one is free online libraries. So you don't have to spend a fortune to read books. They're available for free. And I've listed these resources on my website to save you the time in searching to find out where they are. But let's get into the books that I recommend. So the first book is You Are a Badass: How to Stop Doubting Your Greatness and Start Living an Awesome Life by Jen Sincero. Now, I love this book. She tapped into my inner badass with these books. It's a 4-part badass series, and I really enjoyed her comical and straightforward writing style. I'd say this is like having a mentor in a book, and I love it when I read books that give me that feeling. So I recommend you read them. The next book is The Simple Path to Wealth by J.L. Collins. The book title says it all. Simple. And we need simplicity in our lives when everything's so complicated and convoluted. So this book is like a map to your financial health. And I really like that he wrote this book for his 24-year-old daughter at that time to help her and guide her on this money life of finances. He goes over topics like investing, saving, and managing your money. He supports his conclusions with case studies. So give it a read. You're not going to be disappointed. The next book on this list is I Will Teach You to Be Rich by Ramit Sethi. This is the second edition. He edited a lot of things and confirmed or solved other things with this new edition. So get the second edition. He fixed some things from the first one. He also has a YouTube series that guides you step by step to improving your finances. Just like J.L. Collins, Ramit Sethi teaches you all of the financial vocabulary and gives you case study examples from his own experience and his clients' experiences. And he does give some realistic, humorous examples as well. It's quite a joy to read. He goes into credit cards, which banks to get. You will not be disappointed. This is definitely a book that you need to have on your shelf. The next book is Multiple Streams of Income by Robert G. Allen. So you should know by now, I absolutely love having mentors in books. So this is another one. And he goes through everything you need to know, gives you tips, resources, shows you everything with diagrams. If you're a visual learner, this will help you with some of those things. So after reading this book, I immediately took action into my own stock portfolio. That's how informative it has been. So I highly recommend you all read this. So the next book. Now this is not a financial book, but it's one of a journey. And we do have this journey of life that we're all going through. And we have different experiences at each stage of life. You all know this one, The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. So it's about dreams and adventures, but it's more than that. It's about the ups and downs that you'll have. So this man in this book, this character, he had the worst luck, but somehow by the end of the book, he ended up better off than he was before because he never gave up. he held on to that dream. He kept trying. So I definitely recommend you at least take a read with this one and give me your opinion. I know some people don't all like these books, so I'm open to hearing other opinions. So book number 6, Everything is Fucked. A book about hope by Mark Manson. All right, so it took me a while to read this book because Mark Manson spoke about a variety of philosophies, and he had me thinking twice about some things. It was a fun read. It helped me see life a little differently, from a different philosophical mindset, from a different point of view. It just gives you perspective in a different kind of way. So sometimes we just need to step out of our own heads and into somebody else's to see things differently. And this is one of those books that can do that for you. So let's move on to book number 7. The Inside Out Revolution by Neill. I love this book. You might be wondering why I'm recommending philosophical books at this point. Because our mental, our physical health, our spiritual health are so important to financial freedom and life. So health and wealth. Lauryn Hill said it. Everything is everything. Yeah, let's go play that song. Everything is everything. When your mental and your spiritual and your physical health are all aligned, it's like magic. You can accomplish anything. So it's definitely a good read. It's 136 pages, very short book. Give it a read. All right, let's move on to the next book. Book number 8. Money Honey, a simple 7-step guide for getting your financial shit together by Rachel Richards. This has been the easiest to read guide I've seen on how to get your financial shit together. She breaks it down into easy tasks that anyone can understand, similar to the Simple Path to Wealth does. So start here. She also has some freebies, like some free templates on her website. She gives away free ebooks and a whole bunch of other advice. So you won't go wrong by looking into it. You'll get something out of it. Number 9. Now everybody knows this one. Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Now this was the first book I read right out of college that helped me understand the nuances of entrepreneurship. It's got a lot of good information in it on how to mold your mindset for success. He created a 14-book Rich Dad series. I didn't read any of those other books, so I can't speak on them. But in general, you can read this book to show you a different perspective than your own. That's the main thing I'm getting out of this Rich Dad, Poor Dad book is it's a different perspective. It's not the only way to do things. It's a different way to do things. And with each of these books I'm recommending, I would like all of you to understand that there is no one set path to doing something. It's just different ways, different paths to get to the same journey. And when you're reading these books, keep that in mind. Robert's style might not be for you. It might just be, oh, that's how he did it, or J.L. Collins, or all of these other people, Ramit Sethi. These are his way. That's how he did it. How can I do it? Well, if you read enough books and see enough people that do things a certain way, you start to resonate with the people that are most like you. That's the purpose of reading books and listening to other people's experiences. It's like, oh, I'm just like that. I can do it like that. And then you might do a little differently than they did. And that's the fun part. Like I said, there's no one size fits all on this journey. You have to find what works for you. So, long rant on Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I know a lot of people recommend it, but I recommend it because it's a different perspective. It's not the only way you should do things. None of these books are the only way you should do things. It's just perspective and inspiration. All right? So next, here's another popular name we've all heard, Dave Ramsey, The Total Money Makeover, a proven plan for financial fitness. Okay, he has many books. I haven't read all of them. I've just read one, The Total Money Makeover. And he goes into the different levels of financial success, from getting out of debt to saving for retirement. It's extensive. So give it a read if that's something that interests you with these topics. Okay, so book number 11. 100 Side Hustles, Unexpected Ideas for Making Extra Money Without Quitting Your Day Job by Chris Guillebeau. Now, forgive me, Chris, I don't know how to pronounce your last name. So this book has some gems in it. I recommend this book because it can give you ideas. I'm not saying do those ideas, but it gives you ideas. It helps you when you can't be creative in the moment and you're seeing other ideas of how people made a job and started making money and it turned into their full-time job. So I read this book because I was just interested in other side hustle ideas. I have my own, but it's nice to hear somebody else's perspective on these things. All right, next book. It's another side hustle book. It's called The Side Hustle Bible by James Altucher or Tucher. Again, James, just like Chris, forgive me for your pronunciation of your last name. So I enjoyed this book the same way I enjoyed the 100 Side Hustles book. It's to give ideas. And there's a variety of ideas that I didn't even know existed and people were actually making money from. So maybe you'll find something in there and then connect some dots to the talents and the skill sets that you have in order to make your own side hustle business that might turn into your full-time income. So that's it for today. You can find all of this information on my blog. The link is in the description below. Everything is free except my time. I do private one-on-one consultations at a very low cost, meaning if you need more help with your personal finances, you can always book a coaching session with me through F.I.R.E. Well, see you next time and keep sparkling.